Hello. We're back with First Bite. I'm just gonna start where we left off.
So, did that satisfy you? Any more questions about my sordid escapades?
Oh, we left off right before a question. This is another one where we have to ask all of them, and it's just a matter of fucking order. um, I'm out of breath because I've just walked up and downstairs, so I can't help that. Let's. Sure. So, how exactly does it work with the three of you? I know you said that humans get your kind wrong, but do you have mates, or are you just the same as us? Oh, her laugh is so cute.
Oh, same as us. That's cute. We might be soulless and our hearts may not meet, but we are still capable of love. Even if that love is different from how a human might experience it.
She pauses and purses her lips, her gaze lifting to the ceiling. I suspect she's trying to find the right words to explain so that my tiny human brain understands.
Our ability to love and care for each other is vast, despite all of our darker aspects.
1 second. Oh god, okay. I was checking the audio, but it seems to be okay.
A lot of us are nomadic because we have to be. So finding partners who you tolerate enough to spend centuries with isn't something that comes easily.
I snort at the tolerate part, and Valeria bristles, but she's smirking.
Yes, tolerate. Believe it or not, we are actually quite fond of each other.
I can tell. I just wonder what it's like to be wanted like that. Damn. She observes me with a tilted head, her eyes unnervingly bright in the dim. She's sizing me up again, but it feels decidedly less murderous this time.
Vampires are driven by their instincts. We feed and fuck and fight, and there's little room for much else. Fucking and fighting, just different verbs with similar structures.
Valid. I nod furiously.
But then when you do find more, well, you cling to it.
She waves her hand dismissively and makes a derisive noise.
Oh, it's all very complicated. I doubt your tiny human brain could handle it, honestly.
Man, me too. I snort again. Maybe she read my mind. I'd kind of like to understand. Maybe. If you'll let me. Valeria sighs deeply and takes my chin in her hand. I think it might be a habit of hers.
You ask a lot of me, little bird.
Okay, so it is one of the things where you have to ask about all of it. You said something about having an ability, like magic powers.
Magic powers? I'm not a bloody wizard, but I suppose you could define it as a power. It's nothing just any of us can learn, but something deeply ingrained in certain select individuals. Some of us don't have anything special beyond the usual vampire bullshit. Speed, strength, a smoking heart, and exceptionally good in bed, etc., etc. But then there are special cases, like Laura and I, who have precious gifts.
Not Ilias. She purses her lips, contemplating my question.
Ilias is special in the sense that he has a terrifying, unquenchable thirst and flies into a blood rage if he gets even remotely excited about the prospect of murder.
Bless his heart. She sighs dreamily.
An impressive beast indeed.
I try not to focus too hard on blood rage and force a smile. Yeah, much to think about. I personally think he's incredibly valid and I support him.
Anyway, enough about that brute. It's Valeria time.
She flicks her hair over her shoulder dramatically. Consider my interest highly piqued.
A handy little trick indeed, especially when needing to subdue my prey.
She grins, fixing me with a pointed stare. Gulp. Mind fuckery? She takes a step closer, twirling a strand of her hair around her fingertips. It's anything but coy. Closer again, her fingers coming up to curl underneath my chin. She tips my head back slightly.
I'll be gentle. I have no interest in breaking you. Yet.
Despite every single one of my instincts telling me I should probably at least try to have a little interest in self-preservation, the cool touch of her skin against mine is alluring. Who fucking needs self-preservation in times like this? What do you mean by show you exactly? She shrugs, dropping her hand, but I remain frozen in the position she placed me in, chin tilted in almost submission. She wiggles her fingers like spider legs.
Unless it isn't a pretty picture you're interested in, of course. I can conjure up anything you desire. Pain, pleasure, fear, a trip to the beach. Just pick your poison.
Oh god, I have to pick something? I mean, okay, listen, like, obviously show me something sexy is the option I'm gonna inevitably pick. Like, considering the situation that I'm in. I swallow loudly and fix her with my best bedroom eyes. God, fucking Christ. Give me the sexy shit. Snort.
Oh, typical, just like Laurel and Illy. But, lucky for you, this happens to be my strongest area. Close your eyes, kitten.
I listen and close them tight, and the effect is instantaneous. I'm on a bed. The sheets are blood red and impossibly soft against my bare skin. I can feel hands upon me, but I can't see them, their touch drifting carefully over my hips, waist, ribs. They press firmly, kneading at me before turning soft and gentle, fingers tracing the head of my clavicles, then up over my feet. I can't tell how many of them there are, but I feel overwhelmed, the best kind of overwhelmed. Like my brain is about to explode and a galaxy is going to burst to life behind my eyelids, overwhelmed. There's a quiet whisper in my ear, a voice that feels familiar, but that I can't quite place. Maybe it's Valeria, or Laurel, or Ilya. Either way, the voice says things that cause heat to bloom across my cheeks, and the tip of my ears, everything burning hot, hot, hot. Just as I'm about to break, as I'm dangling off the precipice, I'm yanked back to my harsh reality. Well, it isn't all that bad. Valeria is here after all. Valeria, who is looking at me like she wants to eat me whole.
You're so receptive, kitten. It's good to know.
My skin still feels all hot and sticky, my palms clammy. That was, fun. A lot of fun. You're very talented. And then we just go on to the next. I think about her leaky attic comment and all of the weird, wonderful, and frankly fucking terrifying adventures that she's been on and can't help but wonder. How the hell did you end up here, in Portland? She looks a little taken aback at first, but her expression quickly softens into something akin to understanding.
It's precarious being a vampire in this day and age. The court dictates that we have to adhere to their silly, archaic rules and lay low. Otherwise, we'll be eliminated.
She punctuates the end of her sentence with some pretty sarcastic air quotes. Wait. The court? As in a vampire court? Valeria doesn't exactly seem pleased with my interest in this particular subject. Clearly it's a sore one.
Yes, a vampire court. Don't get too horny over the idea. It's far less glamorous than it sounds. They're the bane of our fucking existence, I'll have you know. Bureaucracy is soul-crushing, regardless of if you actually have a soul.
I can feel the annoyance rolling off her in waves, and I'm not sure if I have the guts to poke her about it and witness another of her brain-shaking tantrums, but my eye is twitching at the prospect of there being a whole entire vampire court in my hometown. Clearly I'm doing a bad job at hiding it because she's narrowing her eyes at me. She scoffs loudly, her teeth bared. I've been caught. I offer her a sympathetic grin. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that they've been here, that you have been here, existing among us this whole time. You can cut me some slack there, right?
You spent too much time on the internet, kitten.
Yes, probably.
I can assure you, it isn't anything like you've seen in your little movies or your silly books. It's sterile and boring. They exist solely to make our lives hell and keep us in line.
Keep you in line? How? You're so strong and powerful. And stubborn, I want to say, but I quite like my head being attached to my body.
Oh, sweet of you. But despite how incredibly powerful the three of us are, there are, unfortunately, far older, far scarier vampires than us out in the big bad world.
It's Twit. I can't exactly disagree.
The world is garbage and full of garbage people. Even creatures like us have evil overlords who want to control us.
She pauses for a moment, and then she grins. It's a bit unnerving, if not slightly arousing. From the little interaction I've had with Laurel, I think to myself that they'll probably succeed. You know, talking to you is quite literally the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me.
I should think so too. I'm wonderful.
I huff a laugh, nodding in agreement, and then a weird, stagnant silence falls between us. I feel like I need to broach the subject of her maybe possibly doing me a solid and turning me, but I'm hesitant to break this weird, strangely comfortable rapport we seem to have going on, where she doesn't really look like she wants to kill me anymore. Valeria is staring at me, her brain clearly working hard to try and figure me out, and I hate how much of an open book I probably am.
You know, siring someone is not a thing our kind takes lightly.
And my traitorous human heart and brain is no match for her. She continues, stepping closer.
It's a commitment that no mortal could ever fathom. Something more permanent and intimate than any futile bonds made during a human's lifetime. You're tethered for the rest of your immortal life, for eternity, unless one of you turns to ash. Despite the distance between my sire and I'm still all too aware of his existence.
Sounds like it was a bad parting of ways. I watch her expression shift, a subtle change that looks almost human, her sharp, otherworldly beauty softening for the briefest of moments before she's back to being cool and perfectly collected. There's something almost soft and vulnerable about her, under all of that bravado and snapping teeth. It's nice.
I was turned against my will, as most of us often are, and a person like me doesn't do well with being betrayed. I was rich and beautiful and free, and I fell in love with a man that I believed would join me in that freedom. I believed that we were the perfect match.
And then, Valeria glares at me and I decide to dial down my curiosity. I'm trying to get lucky here, not straight up murdered.
And then, that bastard goes and kills me on our fucking wedding night.
Fucking cross. She bares her slender throat with the tip of her head and a sly smile before grabbing my wrist and yanking me closer. It's invisible to the naked eye, but when she guides my hand to her neck and I carefully run my fingers over her cool skin, I feel the raised, long healing scar. I can't help but shudder. Whoa. sharp and unforgiving. The scar is messy and deep, and clearly her sire showed her little mercy in her final moments of mortality.
He loved me, and I loved him, even after what he did. But I could never forgive him for taking that choice away from me. For not even giving me one in the first place.
Jesus. She releases me and lets her hair fall back over her shoulder.
The years all begin to bleed into one eventually. You watch your family die, all while you remain unmoored, just existing somewhere in between. Are you prepared for that? To watch your loved ones wither and die? To be tethered to me for the rest of time?
Yeah, sure. Her smirk is devilish. Listen, I know what I'm talking about. My heart is a hammer in my... Also, wait, didn't I pick Laura? Wait a minute. My heart is a hammer in my chest, ready to quite literally burst out of my ribcage, alien style. Is this really happening? I'm so fucking ready. I've never been more ready for anything in my life. She grabs my chin again, tightly, leaning in to run her nose along the edge of my jaw. I shudder from head to toe.
Before they die, humans tend to reek of fear and dread. Oh, it's exhilarating. But you...
When she pulls away, just enough for her to make sure I can look deep into her eyes, she bites on her bottom lip.
You smell like excitement. It's a most delicate, intoxicating ambrosia. I can't wait to taste you.
My breath hitches and I nod slowly, but with great enthusiasm, trying to telegraph that I am incredibly fucking stoked right now, without having to use my brain to form a coherent sentence. My heart does something weird in my chest again, an inverted beat, all of my blood rushing the wrong way as I try to focus on the side of Valeria, moving towards me with greater intent and that hungry look in her eyes.
Oh.
She laughed, putting quietly.
Oh, don't be afraid, little bird. I'll take good care of you.
Stupid of me to forget she can hear the way the organ... that she can forget the way the organ is literally trying to pound its way out of my body, my ribcage ready to split open and let everything vital pour out onto her nice silk bed sheets. I bet they cost a lot of money. She tilts her head, a sharp smile cutting her perfect face in two as she reaches out and curls cold fingers around my wrist. She feels the bumps of my veins and the delicate bones with the pat of her thumb, and I think it might be the horniest thing I've ever experienced.
I promise to make you feel good first.
First?
Well, yes. Before the whole killing you part.
Shit. Right. That. Killing me, then bringing me back as your favorite new immortal partner? She snickers and boops me on the nose with a fingertip. That's not exactly an answer, but okay. Well, I guess there's no going back now. I'm just glad I'm going out this way, and if she refrains from fully murdering me, we'll have a nice experience to look back on together.
Your heart is beating so fast, like a little rabbit. It's so noisy.
She brings my wrist to her mouth, brushing her lips over my pulse point. I can see the white of her fangs, the thread of them making my toes curl, and then she licks a wet strap up along my skin, stopping at the heel of my hand to apparently savor the taste. Is that a good thing? Her answering laugh makes me flinch, and she's quick to grab my other wrist as she settles over me, her thighs astride my waist. She's petite in stature, but there's nothing small about Valeria. She looms, filling the room with an almost oppressive presence, even when standing beside a physical giant like Ilias or someone like Laura, who can cut you to the core with just a look. Her dress rides up her legs as she sits on top of me, already leaving little to the imagination, but the way the fabric pulls at the curve of her hips makes my mouth water. I'd reach out and touch her if she wasn't pinning my wrists above my head. But then I can't exactly bring myself to be mad about that. I'm not. I have no interest in disobeying her.
Now, tell me what you want, kitten. Use your imagination.
Well, Would you appreciate this? Or is this like, we're gonna save. I know that it might be boring, that I'm not like going through with like shit answers, but like my playthrough, I can do what the fuck I want. I want you to fuck me, and then I want you to turn me, make me like you, please. Her cool hands slide under my clothes, her head tilted as she carefully observes every little shift and twitch of my body. My abdomen dips under curious fingertips that walk a path up, and over my spine.
Oh, it's been a while since I've been with a human. You're all warm and fragile. It would take so little to break you.
Break me? She laughs again, a more condescending noise this time, her dark hair falling over her shoulders as she leans closer. Our noses brush. Don't mind if I fucking do. Fuck yes. Me and the MC on the fucking same wavelength here. Fuck yes. A commanding palm placed flat against my shoulder. It's a wordless command to stay down. She smirks, likely feeling the way my heart stutters beneath her touch. I look up at her with a dazed sort of need and feel emboldened as I place my hand upon her bare thigh.
You can touch me wherever you like.
I groan as she leans in and nips at the soft flesh of my throat, the vague promise of fang driving me fucking crazy. I've always been into the idea of being bitten by a vampire, in theory, but that was when I thought they were nothing more than a figment of the population's imagination, something that lived only on pages or movie and TV series. Knowing that they're real and having one directly above me, intending to fuck me and bite me, is a whole other story. Those fakers could never hold a candle to the real thing.
Such a lovely specimen.
Her clever fingers walk down my abdomen at an agonizingly slow pace, finally settling between my thighs, and I swear I see God, or maybe the devil, when she finally touches me where I need it the most. I try to catch my breath between the not-so-gentle waves of pleasure as we move together, Valeria intermittently whispering filth in my ear like she intends to kill me with 30 talk instead of fangs. Her grip on my face tightens, and my eyes fly open when I feel her leaning close enough for our noses to brush. Looking at her is a problem, a big one, because I'm desperately clinging to every ounce of sanity that I have left, and it still isn't enough to survive her. She gives my face another jerk, snapping me back to reality. Her voice wraps around my throat, filling my lungs like smoke. I nod mutely past the point of coherency, of making any sense whatsoever. Every part of me is lit up and turned on, my blood rushing fast and hot, and there's a distinct feeling rising from the darkest depths of my stomach. It curls at the base of my spine and squeezes, and I know my time has come. To come. Valeria pushes her thumb into my mouth until I'm choking on the remainder of my sentence.
Don't be cliché, kitten. You don't need to say it. I can smell it on you. I can taste it.
I make a weird noise that I hope I don't remember later, if I even have a later. It bodes well for me that my feeble human stamina impresses you. She laughs and the sound makes my toes curl, her eyes dark and reverent and swallowing me whole. Like she knows exactly when I'm about to fall over the precipice I've been desperately clinging to, she leans in and presses her lips to mine, hard enough to brand the shape against my skin. I let go, and I'm free falling. I come gasping, Valeria swallowing the sounds, even making some of her own, and then she has her fangs at my throat. As the sharp points of her teeth pierce my flesh, I feel a hot burst of pain, the kind you get if you curl your fingers around a scalding pan straight out the oven, but then it's gone. It hurts still, but the pain bleeds into something verging on pleasure. It spreads throughout me, warm and tingly, not much unlike the feeling I've just experienced. I furrow my brow and try my hardest to stay lucid as she drinks, my numb fingers sinking into her silky hair to have something to anchor me. The noises she makes are sensual, little whimpers and groans muffled by the thick glut of blood that slides down her throat. I still have the brain power to decide that it's the hottest thing I've ever experienced, and I just fucked a vampire. Valeria shudders and pulls back, her eyes wide and glittering as a line of blood, my blood, trickles down her chin. Oh wait, that's her. Sorry. This is a beautiful CG. Holy shit. She's so pretty. Oh my god. She presses her fingers to her skin to stem the trail, catching the liquid before messily pushing as much of it into her mouth as she can. She sucks her digits clean.
Like cherries. Ripe ones. Better than I anticipated.
She licks the red from her teeth and smirks down at me, and my dying heart stutters in my chest. She bots into her wrist, 2 perfect puncture wounds that drip a deep dark red, the most perfect little beads surfacing on her pale skin. She presses it to my mouth, and the taste of copper bursts against my tongue. It's cold. Instinctively, I drink it as she pulls away, apparently satisfied.
Good night, little bird. See you on the other side.
I feel her hand brush over my eyes, her touch feather-like. Everything goes dark. The tingling in my limbs gets stronger, and death feels a lot nicer than I anticipated. In fairness, I just came my brains out, so I'd say it was a pretty good curtain call. I know how this goes. Dizziness, nausea, blood vessels constricting as the body tries to compensate for its losses. But this is different. Maybe it was the blood that Valeria fed me, like some kind of morbid vampire ibuprofen. Take 2 on a full stomach before dying and wake up eternally hot. She's still touching me, her cool fingertips tracing the shape of my lips, and brushing over my eyelashes where they fan against my cheeks. I wonder if she's helping me through it. It's intimate. It feels like the start of something. The pain begins to reach a fever pitch as my body readies itself for the transformation, but Valeria's lips are at my ear before I lose consciousness, her voice breathy and sweet, gentle in a way it wasn't before.
I can't wait to see what kind of monster you'll become.
Hell fucking yeah, bro. I feel a strange sense of peace through the pain as it peaks and tapers into numbness, and I let go. I let myself fade away. See you on the other side. Part 4, Rebirth. Am I doing shit right so far? Because that's kind of surprising. It's the same feeling, the prelude to waking up. It's 5 minutes before your alarm goes off, when you know you're about to enter the waking world, but the desperation to stay asleep claws at you. My fingers begin to twitch, and I blink as if I'm stuck, anchored to the land of dreaming. Hazy memories drift to the forefront of my mind. Then, perfect clarity. Everything. I remember it all. From entering the house to meeting the vampires, to the interview, to Valeria's bedroom, and finally, returning. I'm still in Valeria's bed, my eyes still closed, my senses slowly returning. I can smell her all around me, floral, sweet, soft. As well as my nose feeling superpowered, my ears are fine-tuned to, well, everything. I can hear the skittering of animals outside, the gentle chatter of humans down the street. And then I realize that there's also a couple of things I can no longer feel. Once vital things. The most vital of all, my heart, is dead. I'm hyper-aware of it in my chest, and it feels heavy despite its dormancy. A gentle reminder of my new state of being, I suppose. There's also a distinct coolness to me, from my bones to my skin, though it isn't the same as being caught in the snow and left to thaw. It's just a strange, prickling awareness. All things considered, this feels like a peaceful sort of awakening. There might be a distant memory of pain and screaming, of my body dying and rebuilding itself, while I was stuck somewhere in between, but it doesn't haunt me. Maybe it's tucked away for keeps. I take a moment to embrace it all. And then I feel a finger poking at me. Hey! I hear a quiet, dirty laugh, and I'm suddenly all too aware of a body beside me. I fucking thought that said inside me, so fake. Valeria. She's lying flush against me, her body temperature now feeling strangely normal, if not a little warmer than my own. I suppose that, technically, I'm a freshly risen corpse. Cool.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
I groggily open my eyes when I hear her voice. My eyelids feel heavy and my head is throbbing like I'm suffering through the worst hangover in the history of everything. But the sight of Valeria soothes away the ache. Leaning over, she presses her crimson lips to my ear, her voice dipped low. Night, how long was I out for?
You died, little bird. It takes time for the body to recover from that.
As I shift under the covers, I focus my attention on my arms. More specifically, that they're crossed over my chest like I'm a poor facsimile of those dramatized movie vamps that she scoffs at. I roll my eyes at her, trying desperately not to smile. Really?
Ugh, you're the one so enamored with all those silly little vampire tales, kitten. Besides, I was bored. Had to entertain myself somehow.
Oh, that's so cute and silly. Her pout shifts into a smirk. I pause for a moment to take her in where she lounges beside me, and if they were still able to, I think my cheeks would be heated. The incredibly flimsy lingerie that she's wearing leaves little to the imagination, and for that, I am incredibly thankful. It even has sparkles. It feels like I'm seeing her for the first time in high definition. She's even more beautiful than my feeble human eyes could possibly ever comprehend. She has a glass of red wine, expensive and old, my new nose tells me, in one hand, and the other clutches an indecent-looking novel titled First Thought. The cover is adorned with a particularly lewd illustration of a vampire chowing down on a half-naked human who looks a little too pleased about it. I can relate. A vampire romance novel? Is it good? Oh,
Did dying make you
he's so
forget that you
cute.
write cryptid erotica, sweet thing?
Fair point. Can I at least see the synopsis?
Ugh.
Can't have my sire reading subpar smut. I move my hand to reach for the book, and I see that my other dark clothes have been replaced by a black silk robe. It even has fluffy sleeves. Before I can question it, Valeria speaks. Aw. I stare at her for a hot minute before I remember her tricky little mindfuckery powers. Thanks, I think. Baby Fangs, that's such a cute little name. I nod and oblige without hesitation.
Illy, Laurel, enter.
Laurel and Ilias are standing in front of me, and if I had to guess, they were probably lurking outside and doing some very casual vampire eavesdropping. Or did she now? So, what does that entail exactly? Valeria sits aside her book and a glass of wine and stands to join the other two.
We planned a little surprise for you.
I love surprises. Three of them grin at me, sharp teeth on display. It's decidedly unnerving. I narrow my eyes at them, feeling less enthusiastic suddenly. Please don't bring in a human for me to suck on.
Oh, cool it, baby fangs. It's nothing like that. Yet.
Valeria nods to both Ilias and Laurel, and all three of them pull something from behind their backs and place it on their heads. Oh no! Fucking party hats with rainbows on! That's really cute. That's really fucking cute. They're also all holding colorful party poppers. This is the best birthday ever. If my heart could beat, I think it would be pounding double time. The fact that they did this for me, that they all look so happy. It feels like I'm really part of their family, like they're proud of me. I really hope vampires don't cry blood. I guess I'm about to find out.
Happy birthday!
After our little celebration, Valeria escorts Laurel and Ilias out of her room to give me a moment to compose myself. I walk around, trying to get used to driving this hot new immortal body. I stare down at my palms, my skin flawless, if not a little pastier than its usual hue. I poke my fangs with my tongue, feeling the newly sharpened points. Valeria said they'll get bigger in time, and she seems to find great pleasure in calling me baby fangs. I dig it. I'm actually a vampire, a real-life, blood-sucking fiend. Dracula and I are practically the same. Ish. Saying the words out loud makes it feel real, and I know what I want to do next. Thinking of Ilias, Valeria, and Laurel standing together, it hits me that my entire life has changed in ways I couldn't possibly fathom. Everything I thought I knew, all the things I held dear, all of that's behind me now. And yet, the thought is strangely appealing. My stomach flutters and my chest tightens, but the tears that spring to my eyes don't feel like any sort of grief at all. It feels like a new beginning, and just maybe, belonging. I wander downstairs and find myself back where I started, in the foyer. The portrait of Nasty Dennis feels no less threatening, though, despite my newfound immortality. I chuckle to myself. Just three Just 3 days ago, I was a regular human who stumbled my way into their lives. So much has changed, but I'm still the same me. I'm still Neff. Well, that's not completely true. The Technicolor version of myself. Remastered, now on Blu-ray. Laurel graciously hands me a glass filled with blood. I don't ask where it came from, and I don't care. I'm suddenly all too aware of the way my throat burns. My body aches to taste my first drop. I greedily snatch the wine glass from their hands and down it in one go, like a frat boy at a kegger. I catch the messy dribble of blood that runs down my chin with the back of my hand. I lick it clean, careful not to waste it. Fuck, that's it. I look at them all staring at me, eyes wide, grins wide. I realize I probably look like a wild animal, unable to control myself. Shit, I'm sorry.
Think nothing of it. Your first drink should have that kind of emotion behind it.
You'll get used to it. Control comes with practice, kitten.
Valeria carefully pours me a second drink from the blood bottle. Oh, negative. I savor this round. I take small sips, letting it linger on my tongue, and really enjoying the taste for the first time. Copper sweet, a mouthful of pennies with a spoonful of sugar on top. I wonder if every human tastes the same. A woozy kind of drunkenness overtakes me, a semi-replacement for the warmth on my lap. I think I need to sit down.
Come on.
Ilias guides me over to the sofa, and we both take a seat before Valeria and Laurel follow suit. We all cozy up together in the two small space. Blood tipsy and sated, I can't help but smile as I sink back into the plush cushions. It's a lot to take in, and I'm sure it'll take some time to get used to the whole being dead thing. But I feel good. Really good.
Luckily, you've got eternity to figure it out.
Unless you find yourself in the hands of a vampire hunter.
That's like so sweet. Ilias, I love you, and I'm going to kiss you? Actually? Fuck those Van Helsing tops, am I right? Valeria raises an accusatory brow at me, but she's quick to shake her head and smirk when I wink at her. Oops, fuck, hang on. Can't believe there really are vampire hunters, though. Next you'll tell me that Mothman is real. Laurel stares at me blankly.
Well. We celebrated our resounding victory with sprinkled donuts.
They're so cute. Oh my god. Ilias huffs, clearly offended that Laurel took the glamour out of his story.
Free donuts are the only real way to celebrate anyway.
Ilias huffs and folds his huge arms across his chest, an impressive pout on his lips. I need to hear the story in intricate detail. I just want to know how to contribute to protecting our coven if shit hits the fan, you know. We are a coven, right? That's the proper terminology here. What should I call it? I'll let the name settle on my tongue. I like it. The room falls into silence, and it's the comfortable kind. I look around, taking everything in. Powerful Ilias, entrancing Laurel, breathtaking Valeria. I smile to myself. This is my new home, my new life, my new world. Finally, I belong. Congratulations, baby things. That's so cute. I'm gonna actually cry. That was that was really sweet. That was really sweet. I want to found family. I love them. Oh no, look. Ah! No. They're so cute. didn't know there would be little pictures here. Also, thank you obviously to everyone who made the game and voice acted and shit. I think every game should have meme pictures in the credits. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna obviously play more because I didn't get to fuck Laurel. But this video can end here, I suppose. Bye.